Do you know, menopause isn't weakness, it's wisdom. I used to push through fatigue, brain fog, and hot flushes until I realised, you know what? My energy is actually currency, and I like to spend my money and energy wisely. So now I structure my business in energy of waves. So I go depending on what type of day I'm having. So for example, in the morning before I start work, I will actually be, proactive. I will contact people. I'll start doing things that are proactive for my business. I will engage, I will do some training. Then I will be doing my main job, and then I will actually review about what my day's been like, what I've got planned in the evening, and then I will start doing more proactive stuff for my business to make sure that I am successful and that I will get things done and get things, achieved to my desired outcome. Then come the evening when I'm home and I've completed the task that I need to complete, I then reset for the following day and I reflect. I'm a natural reflector. So if any of this relates to you and it could help you, just be kind to yourself, plan your time wisely. Just think that, I'm creating waves in the right direction. I'm using my energy wisely. I'm not overwhelming myself. I'm not putting myself in a burnout situation. I'm trying to balance the best that I can within my limits and with what life throws at me. And you know what? It's working. It's working really well. So if anything I have said and it resonates with you today, just think about this. Just think, right, okay, what can I do? What am I in control of? Because we can't always control the flushes that we're going through. We can't always control the brain fog that we experience. We can't always, control things that happen. Life's gonna life anyway. But if you are kind to yourself and you try your best to plan as much as you can in advance, like Sunday evenings for me is all about the following week ahead. So I have a weekly planner scheduler where I am an old school person, so I like to write things down. If I write something down, I can then take a photograph of it and I can have it in my phone. So if I don't have my planner with me, I can refer to my phone so I know where I am. But also when I write something down, it helps me to remember things a little better. It doesn't always work because, like I say, the brain fog can be really, really, strong. I don't know what else word I can say. It's just so can't even speak. Debilitating. But yeah, it's just, frustrating as well. But I really try my best to be as organised and plan ahead as much as I possibly can. And, if things happen in life that you don't plan and, you don't foresee coming, fine, deal with it the best way you can. Put things down, deal with that situation if you can until it's resolved, if it does get resolved, and then you can move on. Or, just replan and schedule your time around that event at the time. Like I have things going on still with my father, even though he's out of hospital. There are still a lot of things that are challenges, to put it politely. And yeah, it's well, I can't even put the words on it. It's draining. It is draining. But I still show up. I still take action. I do my best within my limits because I'm not here to make myself ill. I'm not here to give myself burnout. But I do believe in the compound effect as well. And if you've never heard of the compound effect, it's like a snowball. So when you make a snowball, initially you start off with a small ball of snow. So you make up a little ball of snow, and then if you roll that snowball in the snow, it gets bigger and bigger because it collects snow as it goes along. Well, that's the same thing in principle with the effects and efforts that I'm putting into my business and the engagement and the conversations and so on. It's building those blocks. It's about making the foundation to a house. We all understand surely that to have a house that's going to stand the test of time with all the weather conditions that are thrown at you, you need to be able to dig out the foundation first and then fill the foundation with strong concrete, get that base level ready, get it all level and measured effectively before you start then laying brick by brick. And it's exactly the same thing with the business. When you're growing something, it takes time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and nor was a house, right? So you just got to think, right, okay, what can I do today that's going to help me in the long run? And just keep going, just keep going. And that's how I deal with business versus my business is, because I've got more than one. The trainings that I do, you know, they're online. So I think, right, okay, when can I schedule some time where I can book out myself so I can sit down and I can actually do some training? Some trainings are live, depending on what the nature is, and then other trainings are actually in my back office, you know, so I can actually schedule time in my planner. It's more so on a weekend than an evening because I'm already doing other things as well. And then some things do happen, as life does, and then you don't plan for things to happen. And you've got to literally down tools and, you know, deal with something. And then that's pretty much your evening gone by the time you get home, or, you know, whatever's happening at the time. So I hope what I'm saying makes sense to you. As I say, it's pockets of time, you know. If you have breaks, or if depending on what you do in the day, you know, schedule yourself time. If you're able to have a break, a lunch break, for example, depending on how long you're allowed to have if you work full time, then make sure you eat first, of course, and then once you've eaten, then do something, even if it's for 5-10 minutes, you know, but it's still proactive. It's still something that you didn't get to achieve before. So that's exactly what I do. And yeah, I just find it really effective, really, really effective. Apologies, guys, if I sound like I'm talking through my nose. I am full of cold. And that's the other thing too, you know, I'm kind to myself. I did do a lot more resting on this weekend. You know, I think I'm really up against everything, and I think sometimes it does come out, and colds this time of year are circulating as people have been in the office, work environment, they've been absolutely smothering. And I think that's part of the reason where I've picked this up. But I'm fine, you know, I can just deal with things as long as I'm kind to myself, and I just have to slow down a bit more. But with the understanding that I can also speed up and pick up other things when I'm, you know, in a better frame of mind, when I'm feeling more myself. And, you know, that I'm back to being me, basically. So, like I say, just be kind to yourself, guys. This is your mental health as well that you're dealing with. It's not just about, you know, your everyday life. Without your mental health, your health is your wealth, 100%. And when you don't have your health, you cannot function. So sometimes it does mean about being kinder to yourself. It does mean about slowing things down a bit. Sometimes it's about reevaluating things. But it's about what ultimately is important to you, whatever's going on in your life. You know, like I say, there's things that I can't always plan for as much as I would love to, because I am very organised and planned as a person. But I can't always, frustratingly as it is for me, I can't always plan everything. And unfortunately, there are stuff going on in life that it's just riding the waves. That's the only way. This is the only way I can explain it. It's like riding the waves. You know, if you were a surfer, that wave would come and you'd go up, and then you would deal with it, and then you'd be back down again, back to the normality of life again. So that's literally what I'm doing. I hope you can hear me okay, guys, because I know I'm really talking through my nose, and my voice is croaky a bit. But yeah, I hope what I've said today makes sense. And more importantly, just think about this. Just think about your vision. Think about your goal. And think about where you want to be this time next year, this time in 3 years, 3 years time, in 5 years time. Where and how would you see yourself being, your life being? What would you like it to be? And just think of it from the end goal. Just think about, you know, how is it going to be, and then work your way back. So what would you have had to do to get to that vision, to get to that goal? You know, what are the things that are going to help you get there? And that's what I keep thinking about all the time. That's literally what drives me, what pushes me forward, and what makes me think, do you know what, Rhiannon, you're not going to be working till the age of 67, 68. I'm actually going to be way out of that system, and that way of working, and, you know, living life, basically, because to me that isn't living life. That's just being very restrictive, and I don't like to be restricted in what I do. I like to be free. I like to be in control. I like to be organized, and whether you think I'm a control freak or not, whether that's a good thing or not, who knows. But I have, with age, have actually relaxed a lot in comparison. I used to be a lot worse than what I am now in terms of control and things. And a lot of it is upbringing. A lot of it is to do with the fact that I've had to learn to do things myself from a very, very young age. A lot younger than I should have had to, but it's life, isn't it? It is what it is. It shapes you. But on the flip side, it's also helped me become quite independent, fiercely independent, in fact. And I think that's why I have so much drive within me, because I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to give things a go. I don't know everything. I don't understand everything at times. I don't know all the up-to-date technologies and apps and things of the world, but I still give it a go anyway. And, how and whichever way things go, at least I've tried. Some things I can take up straight away, other things takes longer. But I'm not putting pressure on myself anymore, and those are the areas that I've actually relaxed on, because I'm just thinking to myself, and I think this is from the days where I used to work in hospitals and in care settings and nursing, that as very much as if it's black and white, I do think to myself, well, is anyone going to die because I didn't learn this app straight away? Or, is it really going to affect someone that badly that it's not, is it really? I just got to be more kind to myself, be more patient with myself, that, I don't have the memory like I used to have. Going through menopause as well, it's knocked me in a lot of ways, because I'm so used to being so high functioning in like my organizational skills, and I used to have a really good memory for things. And now I'm struggling to remember to, like, did I pack everything in my lunch bag? Did I, put that relevant, form in my bag, or, notepad, because I'm going to a meeting, and there's just lots of things. But as I say, ultimately it's about being kind to yourself, and just realize what really is important, and we're gonna get there. Things will happen, like I say, but as long as you do something positive each day, try to do at least one thing positive. If you can do more than that, great. The fact that you're here and you're surviving is the ultimate goal, isn't it? That you're still here, you're still present. But I just feel like, if your goal is for more, if your goal is to get out of that grind, like me, where you really just don't want to be where you currently are, excuse me for yawning, it's the lack of sleep again, then just put down on paper what it is you want. Where do you see yourself in a year, 3 years, 5 years? What's your plan? If you haven't done this before, guys, write a pro and con if you want on things. What do you currently do? What's life currently like? What would you like it to be? And what would you like it to be involving? And, the outcome, is it different to how it is now? Or is it just about tweaking things? Or is it massive? Is it a huge change? Is it about completely relocating, emigrating even? What is it that you want to do? And I just think, just have a plan of action. If you don't have one, please have a plan of action with life, because you're here for a short time, and I like to make the most of it. That's exactly how I feel about life. I just like to know that I've tried everything in my power to make something work, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but at least I tried. And I don't want to have a what if at the end of the day. I really just want to be able to say, right, okay, well, I don't want a what if anymore. I don't want that. I feel like I've missed out, or, as I say, that's the FOMO, isn't it? Fear of missing out or something. See, I'm kind of with it. But, oh, sorry. But ultimately, if you're like me, you're driven. And despite being full of cold right now, I'm still doing the best that I can, and I'm still showing up. And that's literally what you got to do. Just show up, get dressed, get out the door, or whatever it is that you do. If you work from home, switch that laptop on, that PC on, and get going. Just write some points down. Focus. Just try and get it out of here. Try and declutter this. Put it onto paper. Enough of me waffling for today. But on that note, have a great week, guys. Have an amazing day, and stay blessed.